The Doll of Lilac Valley, written by Cora Cheney. Chapter 1. With Kathleen for Company. Laurie tried to hide her face by holding Kathleen up to the window. She didn't want Mother to see the tears in her eyes. Her mother was waving and smiling very bravely. Her mother called something. Laurie could see her lips moving, but she didn't know what she was saying. The bus motor made too much noise. Then the bus gave a tremendous roar and rolled down the ramp into the street and around the corner into the northbound traffic. Laurie put Kathleen down on the seat beside her and blinked away the tears. "I must not cry," she said sternly to herself. "I promised Mr. Turner at the church that I would not cry. I promised him that I would make Mother think I wanted to go. I'm a big girl now," she reminded herself. "I'm 9 years old, and I have Kathleen for company." "Tell me," said the lady across the aisle, "where are you going all by yourself with your pretty doll?" Mother had cautioned her to be very careful about talking to strangers. "I'm a fresh air child," said Laurie primly. "A what?" asked the woman. Laurie began to feel a little important. The woman looked so interested that suddenly Laurie found herself telling about how she happened to be on her way to Lilac Valley Farm in Vermont. "You see, my mother and I only have each other," said Laurie. "My father died when I was very small. But now that I am getting rather grown up," Laurie smoothed her skirt self-consciously, "my mother is going back to college this summer and to finish learning to be a librarian." "That's nice," said the lady. "And Mother is going to rent our house to some people for enough money to pay her college bills. She's going to live in the dormitory?" asked the lady. "Yes, that's it. She's going to live in the dormitory at the college. But they wouldn't let me live there with her, so Mr. Turner, that's the minister at our church, arranged to have me stay with some people he knows in Vermont who wanted to take a summer fresh air child. At least that's what he called it." "I was a problem," sighed Laurie importantly. "You certainly don't look like a problem with your pretty yellow ponytail," smiled the woman. "What a lovely doll you have. She looks like you." Laurie glanced fondly at Kathleen. "I simply couldn't live without Kathleen," confided Laurie. "We even dress alike. Mother makes all of my and Kathleen's clothes. I guess I ought to comb your hair now." "Why don't you?" said the lady. "I'm going to sleep now." Laurie took off her blue beret and jacket and laid them on the seat beside her. Then she took off Kathleen's, which were miniature copies of her own. She looked with satisfaction at their twin red checked dresses and began to comb Kathleen's hair into a smooth ponytail to match her own. How lucky she was to have Kathleen with her. Not every girl had a doll who not only looked like her but also dressed like her in every small detail. Why, Kathleen even had a tiny red purse like Laurie's new one. Laurie looked out the window and began to think uneasily of changing buses in Brattleboro. Of course, Mother had given the bus driver her ticket and asked him to look after her and not to let her get lost or get on the wrong bus. But still Laurie had never been away from home alone before in her whole life. She thought back to the snatch of conversation she had overheard the afternoon Mr. Turner had come over to talk to Mother about Laurie. "I don't see how I can let Laurie do it," her mother had said in a worried voice. "The least I can do is take her up there myself and talk to the people. She can't possibly make this trip alone." "Now, Mrs. Cox," said Mr. Turner, "please act on my advice and trust me this time. It's a relatively short trip, and Henry and Hattie Hardwick are the best people on earth, childless but sensible. They're just what Laurie needs. I've written them all about you and Laurie. I think it would be best to let Laurie have the new experience completely alone from start to finish." "But it just seems so, outrageous for me to let Laurie go away to total strangers for the whole summer. Why, she's never even been away from me for even one night." "High time she did," said Mr. Turner firmly. "You must give the child a chance to grow up and develop herself apart from you for a while." "She's a sweet and helpful child, and very obedient. You must admit she isn't spoiled," said Mrs. Cox earnestly. "Right,"
agreed Mr. Turner, "but she's terribly dependent on you. That isn't fair to either of you. I think the best thing for you to do is use this wonderful opportunity you have to finish up your college work and take the job in the library next fall."
"I hope you're right," sighed Mrs. Cox. "I just wish I had relatives near by to send her to."
"I'm almost glad you haven't," said Mr. Turner. "Believe me, I think Laurie will surprise you when she comes home from her fresh air summer."
And now here she was, she, Laurie Cox, on her way alone to Lilac Valley in Vermont to spend the summer with some strange people named Hattie and Henry Hardwick.